Hey, Joe Watson.
They want one more.
Mic
They
check.
gotta see your levels.
Hey guys, mic check. This is Joe. This is Joe. Check.
Would you also like your program? Yeah.
Thank you. You may be seated. Good afternoon, everyone. It's my pleasure to welcome you to this Spring 2022 Colorado Law Enforcement Training Academy graduation here at the Spring Valley campus. It is a pleasure to have you here today on this absolutely gorgeous celebratory day. I'd like to take a minute to introduce myself, Heather Exby. I am the campus vice president. I'm so proud to be, as well as I'd like to introduce our stage guests. Representative Leslie Herod, Colorado State Representative in House District 6. Sorry, 8. Marky Butler, who is Colorado Mountain College's Board of Trustee member. Dr. Matt Gianeschi, Chief of Staff and Chief Operating Officer for Colorado Mountain College. Stuart Curry, Director of the Colorado Law Enforcement Training Academy. Joseph Mays, Assistant Director of SET Academy. and Tom Kotz, who is the new Colorado Law Enforcement Training Academy Director in Breckenridge. I am so glad you are getting that applause thing exercised because we are going to do it a lot this afternoon. So perfect, excellent. Let me begin by a few shout outs of appreciation for the many people that make this possible. First, I want to recognize our departmental partners who share in the leadership and recognize the advancement for this particular program. The Peace Officers Standards Training Board, our post board, who oversee the program's curriculum, testing, and assure quality and integrity of every law enforcement program within our state. I want to acknowledge and deeply thank all of the academy instructors who make this possible, active law enforcement officers from many of the police departments and sheriff's offices within our district who provide countless hours of instruction for our graduates and provide their greatest expertise. And this would not be the superlative program that it is, the best in the state, in my opinion, without the leadership and dedication of our director and assistant director, Stuart Curry and Joe Mays. This dynamic duo run a top quality program with professional standards and personal connection. And they continue to support our students long after they've left the academy and are deeply seated within their own departments. And I thank you to you, the wives, husband, parents, children, relatives, and friends who have supported these fine cadets through this challenging and incredibly grueling semester. We know each and every one of these graduates relied on and leaned on you to get through this semester. This day is designated and designed to celebrate you, graduates, and your achievements. Your strength of purpose, determination, resilience, and brilliance. You have completed a very rigorous and demanding semester. I love that. His daughter has recognized that gorgeous star on his chest and can't wait to get enough of it. So I love that. You've been pushed emotionally, physically, intellectually, well beyond what would be expected of any normal person, and you do it with shining stars and amazing integrity and resilience. You've stretched yourself to achieve everything that was expected of you, and you reached that goal. We are really, really, really proud of you. And I want to take a moment to just have all of us release some of that applause right now for what it is that you've done. Right now, I'm really excited to be able to introduce to you Dr. Matt Gianeschi, who is CMC's Chief Operating Officer and Chief of Staff. Prior to joining the college in 2014, Dr. Gianeschi has been heavily involved in Colorado state government and nonprofit educational policy work. He was on staff for the Colorado Department of Higher Education, as well as education advisor to Governor Bill Ritter. He's also been involved in student access and support work at community colleges, baccalaureate degree colleges, as well as senior staff at the Daniels Fund, the Rocky Mountains region's largest access and scholarship program. Dr. Gianeschi has led numerous innovation initiatives funded by the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, the Lumina Foundation, the Ford Foundation, the U.S. Department of Education, and Intel, among many others. He is the proud graduate of the Denver Public Schools and has been educated at the University of Denver and the University of Arizona. Dr. Gianeschi was awarded a Marshall Memorial Fellowship from the German Marshall Fund of the United States in 2011 and was selected a Presidential Fellowship at the Aspen Institute. Dr. Gianeschi has an amazingly impressive record, but we know him as Matt. I know him as a deeply curious human with a strong belief in the power of education and the intellect to turn those beliefs into action. Please join me in welcoming Matt to the podium.
Thank you, Heather. I didn't realize I was going to have such a lengthy introduction for me to introduce your speaker. But good afternoon, cadets. family members, guests, and instructors. I'm Matt Chinesci. I'm the Chief Operating Officer and Chief of Staff at Colorado Mountain College, and I have the privilege of introducing today's commencement speaker. I have known our commencement speaker for quite a long time. She and I once worked together in a cramped policy office filled with exceptional individuals with big ideas, limitless energy, and very small, noisy cubicles. Representative Leslie Herod represents the neighborhood in which I was raised, Park Hill in Denver, and does so with distinction. And a note to officers in the room, Leslie is one of the worst drivers I have ever experienced the terror of riding shotgun in her car. So please allow a little grace. Go easy on her while she's in the valley. It is true. And Stu, possibly invite Leslie to join the cadets in the next driving course that you offer for the next cohort. In all seriousness, Representative Herod was born to a military family in Germany and was raised in Colorado Springs. She graduated from the University of Colorado at Boulder and attended Harvard's John F. Kennedy School of Government for program for senior executives in state and local government as a David Bunnett LGBTQ Victory Institute Leadership Fellow. In 2016, Representative Herod won her election to the House of Representatives in Colorado by the widest margin of any representative in the entire state. You're welcome. She was the first LGBTQ African American in the Colorado General Assembly. And in 2018 and 2020, she ran unopposed, which is quite a statement. It means everybody got out of the way and allowed her to hold the office. She serves on the Joint Budget Committee, generally understood to be the most influential committee in the state. She is also formerly the chair of the House chair of the House Appropriations Committee, and prior to this year, she was the chair of the House Finance Committee, vice chair of the House Judiciary Committee, and chair of the Committee on Legal Services. Representative Herod also chairs the Colorado Black Democratic Legislative Caucus and Arts Caucus. Since her election in 2016, Herod has sent 68 bills to the governor's desk, marshaling through numerous pieces of legislation addressing criminal justice reform, mental health and substance abuse, renewable energy, youth homelessness, and civil rights protections. Her legislative agenda underscores her commitment to improving the lives of all Coloradans, especially those caught in the cycle of poverty or mired in the criminal justice system. Leslie cares a great deal about the future of Colorado's young people. When she was a student at the University of Colorado, she co-founded New Era Colorado, an influential organization focused on the engagement of young people with, at the time, Congressman Joe Neguse, Senate Majority Leader Steve Fenberg, and Lisa Kaufman, now the Chief of Staff for Governor Polis. Leslie, I mentioned to her before before we came out here that I'm actually going to introduce her old former buddy from CU, Representative Joe Neguse, who's actually our commencement speaker in Breckenridge. So you'll see me leave here in a few moments to go introduce her old roommate. Unapologetically hopeful, Leslie is always seeking opportunities to build inclusive, just solutions for Colorado's marginalized communities. She is a champion for the underserved and a compassionate defender of those who have suffered the consequences of decisions that left them imprisoned. And yet she is optimistic for Colorado's future and believes that better days are ahead for all Coloradans, just over the horizon. She fights for safe communities through prevention and support, and she believes in the goodness of those entrusted with preserving the welfare of Colorado's communities, including the cadets who are about to graduate today. Several months ago, Representative Herod reached out to me to learn more about how CMC trains police officers. She was impressed with the data that Stu put together, I think on a late evening, one of those random texts, and then he had to go put together a bunch of data and send it to me by 8 a.m. the next morning. So sorry for but maybe this is paying you back for that. The information I shared with Representative Herod, and she publicly acknowledged the good work underway at CMC in our CLETA program. President Carrie Hauser at CMC wanted to invite Representative Herod to join us today so that she could see firsthand the quality of CMC's Law Enforcement Training Academy and the commitment of the community's law enforcement agencies to support the college and our cadets. With that, and without further ado, please help me in welcoming my friend, Representative Leslie Herod, to share the commencement address to the 2022 CMC Colorado Law Enforcement Training Academy.
Thank you. Well, thank you so much, Matt, for that introduction. I won't tell you the nicknames we had in that Ritter administration office for Mr. Gianeschi, but what I do know is that you have been so committed to education across the state, to our young people, but also to folks who are continuing their education. It's so such an honor to see you continue to serve. So thank you so much for that introduction. Tell Joe I said hi. Well, oh my God, what a lovely day it is. I'm so excited to be here with you, especially to drive up from Denver with this gorgeous weather, to see this beautiful campus, but most importantly, to be here with all of you cadets, family members, and of course, staff. I'm so honored to be able to speak to you all today, especially during this monumentous occasion. Today marks the culmination of all of your hard work and dedication to serve the state of Colorado and your local communities. I have worked in the Colorado legislature since 2017, and serving has been the greatest privilege of my life. And I'm confident that each of you will go on to experience the incredible joy and sense of accomplishment that I have felt. But you have not chosen an easy path. You have chosen an important one, though, and I'm grateful to each and every one of you. You will play a critical role in making Colorado a better place for us all. You're entering law enforcement at a critical time, at a difficult time, when racial tension, social unrest, homelessness, and substance misuse are just some of the really complex issues and social problems that law enforcement officers have to deal with every single day. You will be tasked with balancing multiple complicated job duties in extremely challenging situations, but I know each of you will fulfill and excel at all of those duties. You will make a difference. I want to tell you guys a little bit something about myself. I, yes, was born in Germany with my mom, who is an officer in the Army. But as things were getting tough and difficult in our lives, I was taken in by a family in Southern Colorado. The man who then went on to become my father was a law enforcement officer. He chose to take me in as a young child. He started as a groundskeeper in Walsenburg at Supermax Prison and spent 30 years working his way up to the head of internal investigations and training. And I am so, so proud of him every single day. But I look at these young people and I see little Leslie thinking about my dad going to work every single day. And there were days that we didn't hear from him. There were days when the prison was on lockdown, and we didn't know if he was going to make it home. These are days that families never want to go through. Every day, though, eventually he did make it home. And I was so proud to play with his pens, to look him in the eye, to see him in his uniform, and to know that he was serving the state of Colorado and this country. Families, you have your jobs cut out for you. These officers need your support every single day. You've been their support. They're going to need a lot more. The thing that bothered me the most recently, and why I am so committed to the work that I'm doing, is when my nieces and nephews would be all together, we'd all, as family, all together at a holiday celebration. They're getting older. They asked, my dad, their grandpa, what he did for a living. And I could see in his heart the hesitation. And it reminded me of the times at the end of his career when he felt like he couldn't wear his uniform home. And that's where we are today. We have to work together to change that. There are people in this world that want to build a bridge between people like me and you. They want to say that we are different and divide us. But we are not. We are the same, and at the end of the day, we need each other. The work that you are doing in our communities to keep me safe, to keep us safe, is something you should all be proud of every single day. It's something that your families can be proud of. So I ask you to fight against the rhetoric, to fight against the divisiveness in communities, and to focus on the reason why you're here, to make a difference. Because you will. I was so proud to hear of the work that you all are doing because I am 100% confident that you all will make our communities better. And when I went through the budget this year, I made sure that Colorado Mountain College was on the top of the radar and to ensure that these academies that train officers so well got the resources they needed. Because right now, we need you, even if it feels like folks don't want you. We need you in our communities every day. I wish we had more mountain trained cadets down in Denver, I'm not gonna lie. I hope you all decide to move to the big city, because your curriculum is good. It's what we need. You all are trained in crisis intervention. You're trained with co-responders. I'm proud to have started the STAR model in Denver, Support Team Assisted Response, where we now have mental health professionals and EMT working with law enforcement to provide services in our communities. And I know a lot of the communities that you all are serving in are starting those models as well. They are critical. We work together to make our communities better. So I think a lot of folks were a little bit surprised that I was coming up here today to speak to you, but it's because my heart is 100% with you. We need more. We need more of you every day. And while I'm committed to ensuring that people don't come into the system in the first place, I know that you all do so much more. But we have to change the rhetoric and show them what you're really about, which is serving in our communities. And every single young person here, I can't wait until I hear that you too want to be law enforcement officers and follow in the footsteps of your moms and dads and folks who are here today. And to the officers who are here, who are taking on these cadets, thank you for the service that you're doing for the state of Colorado too. We are entrusting in you to help shape these officers in our communities. And I know you'll make us proud. And now I want to share one final thing that I learned today, which was that every single one of you all just took a test an hour before we gathered upstairs, right? Just now. So do you guys know what happened with the test? Okay. So you guys may not have made it, right? But you did. You all passed your test today. Congratulations. Not only that, but you all are 100% placed in Colorado agencies. That's amazing. Congratulations. I am so excited that you are representing us in our communities. I know you will do the work that it takes to make sure that we are all safe and that the community feels like you are someone that they can go to for that support that they need. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your commitment to Colorado, to your communities, and thank you for making a difference. Thanks so much.
Representative Herod, thank you for your thoughts and wisdom for our cadets class. Thank you very much. Well, good afternoon. My name is Joseph Mays, and I am the Assistant Director of the CLETA program here at Spring Valley. I would like to acknowledge some cadets today with some well-deserved awards. However, before I do that, I'd like to take a second and share a few words with you all. First, on behalf of Director Stu Curry and Assistant Director Tom Kutz, I would like to say thank you to all of those that helped these cadets during their time here at the Academy. So today's graduation is in part due to your support and sacrifice of all of them, so thank you very much. Now I would like to share a moment and speak directly to my students, my cadets, if I could. and I invite you all to listen in. But before I do, give me just 1 second. You see, I was listening to former UFC fighter and MMA analyst Chael Sonnen the other day. And he said, and he shared a really great story that I want to share with you all before you take off today. Okay. So there's a gentleman who brings out a 2x4 just like this. And he looks at the group that he's training just like you, and I'm talking to you. And he says, I'm going to put that on the ground. And I invite anybody, if you can, to walk end to end, heel to toe, if you can do it. And I'm sure all of you will jump up. You would do it just like that, right? Easy, no big deal. He then goes out and gets 2 step ladders, puts it on both ends, and he grabs that same 2x4 and he puts it on top. And he asks that very same question to that very same group. No one raises their hand. There's no volunteers this time. But my question to you all is, what changed? What's changed? You see, over the past 16 weeks, you have all spent hundreds of hours assessing, learning, and understanding the laws of criminal, civil, traffic. You've reviewed case law, where you sorted through the mental states involved, the who, the what, and your best decision available given the facts that you had. We rolled around the mats in this very gym, and you all demonstrated proficiency in how to properly apply handcuffs. You dealt with unruly directors who dressed up in red padded suits. We brought in dozens of officers and deputies. A lot of them are in this room right now. And they helped you work through scenarios that you may possibly come across in this profession, while asking them and other CMC staff and faculty, students who were role players in situations that we use to evaluate your understanding of what it takes to do this job and be a peace officer. I've seen you all dramatically improve in other areas, such as firearms and driving, where you learn that driving is more about technique, spatial awareness, and less about speed. At the range, many of you improved your aim and learned tactics that exponentially enhanced your skill and proficiency. So I ask you again, what will change? True, the next time you conduct a traffic stop, it's not going to be an instructor evaluating you, right? Nor will the next call from dispatch be to a theater student playing a crisis patient. However, keep in mind that it very likely could be your neighbor, a teacher, or maybe a student who just broke up with his girlfriend and is just really having a bad day. Or maybe even a politician that has a lead foot.
I think that makes me a good driver.
The point being, you all have demonstrated the ability to learn the law, how to interact with people, and apply that skill that is part of this profession. So, while you all head out on your first shift, I want you to think of where that 2x4 is placed and ask yourself, does it really matter? Then tell yourself, I can do this. And do it with the professionalism that you know is expected of you. And so I digress a bit, so let me get back to these awards. All right, so here we dish out a couple of awards. The first one is for top driver. And our evaluation for this award hinges on the driving track, who can drive it the fastest, but more importantly, it requires a clean run, as you all remember. So you hit too many cones, you kick up some dirt, you could possibly be disqualified. So it's pretty stressful. So each student here worked through 9 separate sections, and they did that throughout the week, and then at the final, they had to put it all together. And when they did, their final grade and time was determined. But the driver who wins this award, for our top driver award, goes to Marcin Hornick. Come on up, my man. Congratulations. Next is the top stunt award. I mentioned handcuffing earlier, which is part of our arrest control. And in addition to this skill, it involves defensive tactics, meaning how to resolve a physical attack and learning to work past discomfort and stay in the fight. This student demonstrated these skills, and the award goes to Jessica Schaefer. Congratulations. All right, our Top Gun Award. This award gets a lot of hype by some, and I believe it's because they immediately think of Tom Cruise and his role as Maverick. Saw some head shaking out there. Which I have to say is a great movie. Top Gun 2 comes out May 27th, in case you were wondering. But again, I digress, so I apologize. Let's get back to this and talk about our Top Gun. This is someone who demonstrated their ability to progressively improve at the range. Not only shooting straight, but learning to manage malfunctions and working through a variety of skills that we put you all through. So this award goes to Ethan Kellogg. Congratulations, man. And our final award is the Outstanding Student Award. All right, so here you got to put it all together. This student came in and showed us and the class that they were dialed in to take on whatever came their way. Sometimes they struggled, but they worked through it and improved. They led by example, and even with a few added years under their belts, they took the lead where they could, almost able to summon that 20-year-old out of retirement and push through. So, with strong academic skills, skill proficiency, and strong teamwork mentality, our Outstanding Student Award goes to Chad Engel. Congratulations, man. Thank you all.
Hello. Now we're going to proceed with the presentation of the diplomas. So, will the candidates for the Certificate of Occupational Proficiency in Colorado Law Enforcement Training Academy please rise and come forward as your name is called. You'll pick up your diploma along this table and then proceed to the podium where we hope that I'm at the podium, you're going to go to the microphone. Okay, proceed to the microphone so then you can share a few words with us and with the audience about where you're going and a few words of appreciation for those who've helped you through. Stu?
Rifle Police Officer David Adkins.
Thank you. Definitely like to give my sincerest thanks to Rifle PD for giving me the opportunity that didn't think I could get, and for Stu and Joe for giving me the opportunity and the tools to succeed here. My family as well, most of them are back in New York. I appreciate you guys as well, even though you're not here. I know you're here in spirit. Thanks a lot for the live stream. It's great too. Thanks a lot and congratulations, guys. Everyone said it was going to be fast, and here we are. So, thank you.
Routt County Sheriff's Deputy Corey Anderson.
First off, I'd like to say thank you to Joe and Stu. You guys put on a great academy. This is one of the best experiences I've had in my life, so thank you for that. A thank you to my agency. Thank you for putting me through this academy and trusting me to represent your agency. A thank you to my family, my parents, my brothers, and a very special thank you for my wife. I apologize. During the whole time I've been at the academy, my wife has been pregnant. And dealing with 2 toddlers while being pregnant is not the easiest thing. So thank you, and I love you.
Chaffey County Sheriff's Deputy Chad Engel.
Thanks. Well, thank you all for being here. It's been a long road, but a fun road. First and foremost, I want to thank God for giving me the strength and courage to meet the challenges of the Academy. I wouldn't be here without Him. Secondly, look what you started. My wife, Stacy, and my 2 boys, Finn and Solly, they've been unwavering in their support to me for the last 4 months. And I've been away from them most of the 4 months, so it's been kind of difficult, but they've pressed through and been strong, so I appreciate that. To the rest of my family, I got a lot of family that are out of state, watching online. Love you all. Thanks for all your support. Thanks to Director Curry, Assistant Director Mays, Tom, for their work to make this academy successful. And all the great instructors, many of you are sitting back there, skills instructors, that brought your expertise and knowledge to teach us a lot of different things, so really appreciate that. Thanks to Sheriff Speasy and Chaffey County Sheriff's Office for sponsoring me for a position as patrol deputy. I look forward to working with my fellow officers in the county. And finally, to my fellow academy mates, here we are at the end, also the beginning. It's been a great 16 weeks with each of you, from the weight room, taking over the weight room at nights, to firearms, to driving. So it's been a privilege to be with you, and thanks for pushing me through those times that are hard. So appreciate it. Look forward to serving with you. Thank you.
Vale Police Officer Tiffany Fortune.
Well, I don't exactly know how to follow all of that, but big thank you to my department, Vale Police Department, for giving me this amazing opportunity that not many people have. Secondly, I'd like to thank all the instructors and officers, and to Joe and Stu, who took the time out of their schedules to come and teach us, and I know some days they probably weren't too thrilled. And then lastly, I would really like to thank my wife, Hannah, for her continued support throughout this entire time, and for making me study even on the nights that I really did not want to study. So that's it.
Breckenridge Police Officer Marcin Hornick.
I'd like to thank Breck Department for sponsoring me, giving me the opportunity to become a police officer. I'd also like to thank my family for supporting me, flying out from Illinois. Thank you. And then I'd like to thank Joe and Stu and all the other officers that instructed us during the academy. Thank you, guys.
Eagle County Deputy Ethan Kellogg.
Hello. First and foremost, I want to thank my family. Specifically, I'd really like to thank my wife, Teresa, and my kids. I've spent hours upon hours upon hours being here and studying, and they have supported me through all of that. Next, I'd like to thank Joe and Stu. It's abundantly clear how much work and effort that you guys put into this academy, and I feel like it really shows in the type of cadet that you produce. I would also like to thank the Eagle County Sheriff's Office for allowing me to be here. There are several of you here, and man, you guys have you've really stepped up and helped me get here. I think last but not least, I really want to thank all these guys and ladies here, because I don't really want to think about what this academy would have been like without any one of you. It certainly wouldn't have been the same. So thank you all. I really appreciate you.
Leadville Police Officer William Martin Jr.
Good afternoon. Thank you all for being here. I'd like to first thank you, Representative Harrod, for your inspirational words. Thanks for coming and speaking today. I'd like to thank the Leadville Police Department for sponsoring me and giving me this opportunity. I'd like to thank Stu and Joe for their passion for doing what they do. Like, they really take the time and the effort to put on the best possible academy and just make us the best that we can be going out to our departments. Lastly, I'd like to thank my family. Without their love and support, 16 weeks is a long time. So without them being willing to just take on that burden, there's no way that I would have been able to do this. So thank you very much.
Craig Police Officer Kelsey Morford.
It's a little high up there, sorry about that. First and foremost, I don't know if he's here, but Chief Darras from Glenwood PD said something to me probably like third or fourth day or whenever he came to the academy when we first started. He told me I didn't have to be a product of the environment that I grew up in, and it stuck with me every single day. It never leaves. I think about it every day when I wake up and get ready to go to school or anything like that. Secondly, I'd like to thank my agency. Chief Cochran, thank you for taking me with you to the city from the Sheriff's Office. Captain Conrad, thank you for believing in me and helping me get dressed up today. And my Sergeant Tony Fandel, thank you for always being just a phone call or a text message away when I need something. Joe and Stu, thank you. I'm a lot to handle and they did a very good job of dealing with me for the last 16 weeks. So I have a few people at the academy that I got really close with. Ethan Kellogg, thank you for always encouraging me. Will, thank you for saving me and driving. Amber, thank you for being a mother figure and for always encouraging me. Will, I already said something to you. Ethan Oster, thank you for always being there. Jess and Tony, thank you for becoming two of my best friends. I'm going to miss you guys very much, and it's going to be very hard to say bye to you. I have an extended amount of family here today. My sister Sienna and my nephew Jaden came, and my second mom, Tanya. You guys actually shaped me a lot more than what you think. It's been a few years, but I'm very happy you're here. My significant other, Junior Gonzalez, he is a fellow officer with me with the Craig Police Department, and he has been my biggest support while I've been up here the last 16 weeks. He's held down our house, everything back home. My stepmom, Lisa, I love her very much. She's taken on a huge role of taking care of me and supporting me and encouraging me through this whole thing. To mi ma, Maria, to mi pa, Izaro, mucho gracias, te quiero mucho. I owe you guys a lot more than what I'm able to give you at this point in time. Most importantly, to my dad, we made it. Thank you for never giving up on me and for taking me in when I didn't have anywhere to go. So I love you and thank you guys all very much. And I wish you all the best of luck, and I'm going to be praying for you every day because everywhere we're going, there's something very scary there waiting for us, unfortunately. And I'm very proud of all of you.
So, Police Officer Amber Morrison.
I want to thank my department for sponsoring me and allowing me to come here. All the great instructors and my family for supporting me. Sorry, this has been a long time dream, so thank you.
Aspen Police Officer Ethan Oster.
All the short people. First, I want to thank my wife and my children for the support for these last 16 weeks and for the many years going forward that I know I'll need the support. The Aspen Police Department for sponsoring me. You guys' support has been incredible, and I couldn't have done this without you. To Joe and Stu and all the instructors, the amount we learned here and the support we've had from everybody and the offer of continued support means a lot. Thank you very much.
Leadville Police Officer Maria Porzel.
First, I want to thank the Leadville Police Department for sponsoring me and giving me the opportunity to work for them. Stu and Joe for putting on this amazing academy. All of our instructors who took time out of their day to teach us things, and all my classmates for making it super fun. And then my family who is watching, who's here in person and watching on the live stream. Thank you for all the support over the last 16 weeks. It's, yeah, thank you.
Carbondale Police Officer Jessica Schaefer.
First, I'd like to thank Carbondale Police Department for sponsoring me, having faith in me, seeing all the hard work that I can show to our community. Secondly, I'd really like to thank my husband, who is an Eagle PD police officer. Without his support in everything I did, me picking his ear every single night, the struggles, not only that, I'd also like to thank Sheila, who's here as well. She helped with our kids, dropping them off at 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the morning. She didn't care. Stu and Joe, I couldn't thank you guys enough. You guys did amazing with every single one of us. They watched our hard days. They watched our good days. They watched everything. They watched all of us tear up, cry, all that. Not only that, everyone in our class, you guys all did amazing. Without any of you, I don't think we could have all got through this. We were a great team. We worked through the struggles that we had. Everyone talked. It was wonderful. And I wish you guys all luck.
Our next graduate's receiving 2 degrees today. He's receiving his Associate of Applied Science in Criminal Justice and his Occupational Proficiency Certificate in Law Enforcement Training Academy. Eagle County Deputy Anthony Valdez.
I just want to thank my family for being there to support me in everything I do. Eagle County, I want to thank them a lot. Grew up in Eagle County my whole life, and all the cops that I'm more than happy to get ready to work with here soon gave me the influence of finally figuring out what I wanted to do with my life and setting me on that path of always just keeping me on that right way of just being a good person and wanting to give back to my community because of how much my community gave back to me growing up. Then I want to thank the instructors and directors and everything. They showed me everything that I needed to know to hopefully just give right back to the community and be that officer that everybody likes to be around, that officer that's there to help and just give right back because of what I got. Thank you very much.
Frisco Police Officer Reed Wickland.
Thank you, Stu and Joe, first of all, for an awesome academy. Frisco PD for sponsoring me. My family came all the way out from New York, so it's a good thing I passed this morning. Yeah, I'm really proud to be here. Congratulations, everyone. Thank you.
Craig Police Officer Hannah Wood.
Thanks, Stu and Joe. You're my jiu-jitsu buddy forever. And you guys put on such amazing instructors, and you coordinated immense amount of scheduled and everything for this to happen, so thank you. My agency for believing in me and letting me come out here and play and have a good time. Can't wait to work with you. Valley View Hospital's orthopedic team, thank you. I dislocated my elbow, but now it's good. And let's see, our fleet of babysitters that helped in the mornings, my husband Chris, my boys Miles and Marshall, pay attention boys, and both sides of grandparents, thank you so much, and all of you, I look forward to seeing you in the field, and good luck.
Wow. I'm so proud of everyone, all of you cadets and now graduates. Thank you for doing everything you do to protect our community. Will all the degree candidates please rise? These students have met all academic requirements as prescribed by the faculty of Colorado Mountain College and the state of Colorado. By the authority vested in the Colorado Mountain College Board of Trustees, I hereby confer the Certificate of Occupational Proficiency in the Colorado Law Enforcement Training Academy. Congratulations.
All right, so everybody is always curious what occurs in 16 weeks. So one of my favorite jobs is to put together an end of the year video. So take a sneak peek, let's watch it. We'll get everybody off the stage and see what everybody did while they were away. Thank you.
For you to show out. And there will be obstacles that you must face. And for each obstacle, it will represent something about you. Your greatest victories, your greatest failures. But nevertheless, you must rise above it. And you must conquer every obstacle that comes your way. Are you strong enough? Are you willing enough? Do you have what it takes to do what's necessary to adapt and overcome?
Those who say that we're in a time when there are no heroes, they just don't know where to look.
We love those guys. They put their life on the line every day for us and to protect and serve these communities. And the least we can do is, thank them and give them some support.
You were the one who was chosen. You believed that for so long. Your brothers and your sisters need you more now than ever. And what they need is support, not somebody who's going to sit here and sling mud and complain. They need somebody to say, hey, we're not going anywhere. We're in this together. Let's make sure we have each other's backs. This is the time that you must be your brothers and sisters' keeper. Put the uniform on, show up, and dance with fear.
The only thing that you can control that influences success in life is how hard you work, how honest you are, and how well you deal with others.
Through the fire, walking on the wire, in the night when the lights go out, nobody gonna save you now. Stepping through the fire. I was battle born. I slay the voices inside my head, and when my angels have gone, still I will fight till my final breath. Stepping through the fire. Walking on the wire. In the night when the lights go out, nobody gonna save you now. Stepping through the fire. It's gonna be a long one, another graveyard shift, as he says goodbye to his wife and kids. It's been his life, just like his dad's, driving away under the weight of the badge. He
Seen it all in his 15 years. Watching our backs, facing our fears. Lord knows it ain't no easy task, keeping us safe under the weight of the bag. Swore that oath to protect and serve, pours his heart and soul into both those words. Lays his life on the line, and the line he walks is razor fine. Tempered strength is always tough, but he ain't gonna buckle under the weight of the bag. Not that long ago he woke up in the hospital with his wife and kids praying by his bed. He said, I'm gonna be alright, there's just sometimes you gotta fight, and the truth is nothing truer could be said. I do it for us, and I do it for them, and I ain't gonna buckle under the weight of the bag.
Because really we want to do what's right and what's good for the people. And stumble and fall, just get up, dust yourself off, and you keep moving. Because that's what life's about, isn't it?
It doesn't weigh a lot until you put it on, and the weight of it is staggering. When duty calls each time, he knows he's got an answer, and it's all in the handling, the weight, the heavy weight of the bag.
I've seen so many of those over the years, and I'm always stunned at the capacity you have to endure all that is expected of you during that training. And I think for all of us who aren't part of the program and get to watch that all the time, it's sort of stunning to realize everything that you go through in 16 weeks to become the people that you are now, graduates of the Colorado Law Enforcement Training Academy, and now new peace officers within our district. So I want to take one more opportunity to give directions to all of us. So we'll follow. We'll let our graduates leave the room when we play the music, and then we'll wait for them to leave. Please meet them out in the lobby to share a few donuts. I know, Stu and Joe said it had to be donuts. We tried for cupcakes, but they said no. So take that as you will. But one last moment, I want to take this time to celebrate all of you. So would our graduates of the Law Enforcement Training Academy, please rise, stand, and turn around to face your people.
What you want, what you want, what you gonna do when Chevy John Brown come for you?
Okay, Hannah, take them out.
Tell me what you wanna do, what you gonna do? Yeah, bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? When you were 8 and you had bad traits, you go to school and learn the golden rule. So why are you acting like a bloody fool? If you get hot, then you must get cool. Bad boys, what you gonna do? Or what you gonna do when they come for you? Bad boys, what you gonna do? Or what you gonna do when they come for you? You chuck it on that one, you chuck it on this one, you chuck it on your mother and you chuck it on your father, you chuck it on your brother and you chuck it on your